obviously moved. I mean, I'm still gonna watch that person. Oh, you should have lied. Don't stop it now. Just go with the flow.
Oh my god. Welcome into Jersey Chasers, everyone. Oh my god. Christy, it won't let me unmute you. Oh my god, this is crazy. Once again. And she's frozen. Welcome into Jersey Chasers, guys. I don't even know what to say anymore. We're gonna have some difficulties like usual. It's been a long week. Christy, can you hear me now?
I can.
Yeah.
I don't think I'm frozen anymore, but now you are to me. But you know.
Look, it's Jersey Chasers if we don't have issues with our StreamYard, but please follow us on Inside Edge Network on TikTok, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, and Facebook. Also, wherever you get your podcasts. Jersey Chasers has a network sponsor, Alley Rose Fragrances. Use the code Inside Edge 20. Inside Edge 20 is the code. So we can make that money and get paid. But Christy, how was your weekend? I didn't talk to you all weekend. I kind of was like weird all weekend, and as you can hear, I'm sick again.
Oh, I can't believe you're sick again. Well, I saw your weather as being bipolar. Like seriously, like it's going from 70 down to 30, and we are having the same exact bipolarness happening. Like we were like 89 degrees today, and then tomorrow it's supposed to rain, Friday it's supposed to rain, Saturday it's supposed to rain, Sunday it's supposed to rain, which is all great because we need the rain. We are in severe drought. But by Tuesday morning, we're going to be back down in the 40s.
Yeah, honestly,
So
we're at the point in
yeah,
Ohio where I call
not
it
happy about
fake.
that.
This is fake spring. So like it's a spring that's tricking everybody. And then we're
Yeah.
gonna have like a couple more winter days, and then we'll get to real spring, and then this is gonna be hot for like 6 months. Because that's how it's been going the last couple years. But we have an action
Well,
packed
see,
show. There
well, you being the Indians fan. Yeah, hold on. I want to because I know you're going to remember this. You being the big Indians fan that you are.
You gonna talk
I will
about
try to think of the
2007 when it
year, and I have
snowed?
to do the math in my head. But yes, there was 3 inches of snow in the stadium, and they had to move the game up to the dome to Minnesota. I'm like, how
Milwaukee.
much sense does that make? They're going from Cleveland to Minnesota. But yeah, the home opener. Yep. Okay, so
Yeah.
Zoe
It was
was
the two
4 at the time or she was turning 4. We drove up to Ohio in that mess.
Yeah, it was
I knew you'd
2007.
know it. I didn't even have to
Yeah.
mention it.
It was 2007. Yeah, when it snowed on opening day, which is crazy that it snowed on opening day. And then right after, they had to move the rest of the games to
April
Milwaukee
16th.
Yep, because Milwaukee has like an open air dome stadium, which I think is like perfect for the Midwest. Literally every team should have a Milwaukee type stadium that's in the Midwest or East Coast. Um, but yeah, no, honestly, thank you for jogging my memory. I was 13, 12, 13 when that happened. It's crazy to think about that. And that was like big deal here. They were like the home opener is canceled. They cannot play in the
Um,
snow.
no.
No, it was the rest of the homestand was canceled, not the home opener. They played the home opener, and then the rest of the homestand was canceled because MLB does this weird thing where they have a day off in between the home opener and the rest of the games, and they came back and it was just snow everywhere, so they had to play the rest of the games of the homestand in Milwaukee. So stupid that I know that. So dumb. But
I thought it
we
was
got
in
a lot.
Minnesota. I thought it was the Twins, but
No, it was Milwaukee because I remember like looking at the stadium and being like, "Why are they playing there? It's Milwaukee," and then I didn't realize that it was a domed stadium because I was 13 and didn't care.
yeah.
But
So
we we have an action packed show for you guys. Like I said, just please bear with us with the technical difficulties. It's not us, it's StreamYard. Every week is StreamYard. We know. But let's talk about sports' biggest story. There's one big
Major Sports
story.
Hub.
It's one big story in Florida. It's a big story everywhere. Bam Adebayo of the Miami Heat scores 83 points. He does it in the most insane way. So he does it 20 for 43 from field goals, 7 from 22 and three pointers, and then 36 of 43 from the free throw line. Christy, how did you hear about Bam's free throws? Because I genuinely, when like went on Twitter, I was like, "Who has 83 points?" I'm like, "Who?" I'm thinking they're about to say like Luka Doncic or Steph
That
Curry or somebody else, not Bam Adebayo.
like that's just ridiculous. Like, yeah, Bam, who? I think that's what everybody is saying right now, and that's just ridiculous. Like LeBron doesn't even have the like 83. That's just crazy. Like unheard of. It's cool because hey, record in the books now, right?
Yeah, he's now second all time behind Wilt Chamberlain's 100-point game. A game that people still debate on if it's real. It was in 1962. There were people there. People were like, it's 1962, but there was no footage. I'm like, you guys are talking about an NBA where half of them literally were plumbers. Like, this is not like the NBA was
Right.
not what it was today. Like, they barely had any screen time. So you're talking about that game, and then the game that he kind of technically beat is the Kobe 81-point game in which Kobe came back and beat the Toronto Raptors in a crazy game that's still talked about. But Bam's 83 has a lot of people asking this question. Is there an asterisk? So, do you know what happened at the end of the game for him to get to 83?
No, but I'll tell you what, I don't like these asterisk thingies because, of course, just recently when Miles got his sack record, everybody was saying, oh, there should be an asterisk because it's 17 games instead of 16 games. But when you look at how many snaps there were, he had actually done it in like 200 something less than Michael Strahan. So, um, what's the asterisk for? What happened at the end of the game? What's the
So
ugliness about?
okay, so Bam had 30 in the first. By the end of halftime, he had like 43. By the I think it was the last 2 minutes, he had like 70. No, last 5 minutes, he had 70. So a lot of people thought that once he got to that 70, Eric Spoelstra could should have taken him out because it's not like the Kobe game where Kobe was actively like trying to bring his team back because they were losing so terribly. Miami had won the game by this point.
Right.
Like
They were
they were up
winning. They
20.
were ahead.
Yeah.
Right.
So a lot of people were like, why was he just still in the game? Like there was no
Gentlemen's
need.
rules.
Yeah. And then the other thing is that Washington was constantly fouling him because none of the other Miami Heat players were trying to score because Bam was just scoring so much. So Washington is fouling him. They're sending like
Right.
four guys at him, and if like we're all smart enough here, we're all smart people watching this show. If you're sending four players at one guy, they're gonna foul him. So you have the fact that there are now like NBA guys that are like, yeah, he's gonna get that many free throws because if you're sending four guys at him to try to block him, one of those four guys is going to foul him. So that's where a lot of people are like, I don't know. You either should have taken him out, or Washington should have stopped following him, or the ref should have called him, because majority of his points, 36 of his points, the so 27 of his points were scored through traditional baskets. 27. The rest were
Okay.
just free throws. So that means he literally was fouled so many times that he got like more than half of his points per game, like more than half of his points from those free throw attempts, and
Right.
majority of them were at the end of the game. So that's where
Okay, well,
people kind
that's
of
the
have,
other coach's fault then.
right, and then like
Like,
Eric Spoelstra.
why are you telling your guys, or why are your guys fouling him so many times? Like, hello, don't
That's what I'm
foul him, but
saying.
force him to throw the ball to somebody else. I put that on the other team's coach whose teammates or whose players were fouling him. But there's no asterisk. I mean, unfortunately, basketball is what basketball is, and being the sports lovers that we are, we want to see records be broken in a way that is competitive. And in that case, it wasn't very competitive.
Hmm.
And they probably weren't even thinking at the time, like, oh, there goes Kobe's record, which
Yeah.
kind of sucks. But as fans, we're thinking that,
Yeah, and I mean,
well,
you
there
had
goes
some
Kobe's
people.
record. And for what? For free throws.
Yeah, I mean, you had some people crashing out on Twitter, notably O'Shea Jackson Jr., Ice Cube's son, was crashing out on Twitter about it, being like, "Wow, I can't believe this guy broke Kobe's record. This is crazy." Honestly, when you think of the Wilt record and you think of the Kobe record, those are two games or two records that you say to yourself, those will never be broken. It's sort of like the Lou Gehrig hit streak.
Mhm.
No, the Joe DiMaggio hit streak. The Joe DiMaggio hit streak of 56
Right.
games, like the closest any Major League Baseball player has ever close to it come close is like 30 games. Like a 30 game hit streak is probably the closest anybody will come to it. You have Lou Gehrig's and now Cal Ripken Jr.'s record of most games played. Like those are the records that we all thought, okay, these are not really attainable. And Bam getting that 83, and
Right.
then like I said, it was the way he got it at the end of the game is where people were like, this is not cool. And then I thought the other thing that was interesting is that the 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 score at the end of the game was one of the most ridiculous things I've ever seen.
Mhm.
150 to 130 isn't I don't ever want to see that on my basketball screen. Why are we scoring in the hundreds? And this is my problem. I I love a good defensive basketball
No
game. Don't
defense.
get me wrong. I love
I
it.
was gonna say, like, because growing up, that you used to see games going into the hundreds. I mean, it was the low hundreds, like 125,
Yeah.
but like you knew you were watching a very athletic game when it gets to that score. But you're right about the defense. There's obviously none. And basketball didn't really used to focus a lot on defense. It was just score, 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 score. Now, like, they are being more fan friendly and trying to focus on defense and trying to make it more competitive instead of just
I need them. And look, I blame the Golden State Warriors for that. I truly do. There's a lot that I don't like about that team. And the fact that they made the game so offense forward, and people are like, "You who wants to watch defensive game?" Me, because I know at least you're playing. I know you're playing hard. I know you're doing the best you can. I don't need to see 10 threes in a game. I don't need to see you chucking them up and missing them. Oh my god, it's so awkward when you see a guy who is a three-point shooter just missing in a game, and you're like, this is the most brutal
Yeah, but
thing.
when they get on a roll and
Yeah,
they're
when they get
hot and they're
hot,
hitting
it's
all those
yeah.
threes, that's fun to watch. Like,
That's fun to
to
yeah, that's
me,
really fun to watch. But
yeah,
we're in an NBA that's like now it's more of there's not a lot of people that can hit those shots. It's like Steph Curry and
right.
like two other people. And so I'm like, I don't want to see such an offensive game like that. But the score was terrible. The last 10 minutes was terrible. Now people are saying there's an asterisk behind it. It was just a hot mess in the NBA. But let's move over to the next hot mess. Do you want me to talk about Max
NFL
Crosby?
news.
You want to talk about Max Crosby?
You- Let's talk about Max Crosby a little bit, just a little bit.
Yeah. So Max Crosby, if you guys don't know, was traded over the weekend to the Baltimore Ravens. Now he has made it very, very, very clear that he wanted out of the Raiders, that him and the Raiders were not cool anymore, that he was done with Las Vegas. So he gave them some destinations, they shopped them around. Two teams were really neck and neck. So Baltimore offered two first rounders. Dallas offered a first and a second. They went with Baltimore. So he gets traded to Baltimore. Now, I want y'all to understand this. Every other league does physicals, right? But you don't get you get a physical right before you leave. You don't get a physical when you get to that team. Every other league does this. So he's traded to Baltimore. He changes all of his handles to Baltimore. He gets to Baltimore yesterday. He gets a physical. They find something in the physical, and then the Raiders
Wah,
post.
wah.
Raiders post. The Baltimore Ravens have backed out of this trade. So Max Crosby is still currently a Raider. Please hold your comments at this time. Then it comes
We're a
out
mess.
today that another player who I think is the same in the same position class that Max Crosby is was in the building at the same time, and they
Oh,
ended up signing him.
yeah, Trey from Cincinnati.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
I
So
think it's Hendrickson. Yeah, Hendrickson.
Trey
Yeah,
Hendrickson was in the
yeah,
building, plays the same exact position as Max Crosby. They
yeah.
saw
How
whatever they
convenient.
saw during that physical and was like, So now Max Crosby is still with the Ravens,
A
with the
Raider.
Raiders. I'm sorry,
That's okay.
and now where's he gonna go? Because if the Ravens saw that physical and was like, yeah, we're not giving up two first rounders, who he going to?
Well, hell, we would take him. I mean, we're dumb enough too. But like,
I
I
mean, yes,
love
for
how
sure.
the Ravens kept their receipt and they pulled it out and they were like, "Oh, looky, no, we need to give him back." So they got their refund.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Wish we could get our refund on Deshaun. I didn't know we could keep receipts like that and do
I didn't know
refunds.
we could back out of
Um,
trades. That would have been so great if they would have backed out of that trade with Deshaun
I've
Watson.
never
Been
heard
like,
of it
oh my
before. This is the
god,
first time I've ever heard of it. And for it to be, I mean, like, for it to be him, I mean, like, he's not like a shitty player or anything like that. I mean, this is something I guess it had to do with like he had knee surgery and he's still recovering from that.
yeah,
So,
it was. Yeah, it
which,
was a major knee surgery at the end of I think last season. Yeah,
yeah, and he was trying to play it off like telling the Raiders, "Oh, you guys can't, be benching me. I'm perfectly fine." Remember, he was shooting basketballs in, in some indoor basketball, probably his house, but yeah, so evidently he really did have surgery and he really did need to be not playing during that last game.
it
But
was. It's
yeah,
just a hot mess.
I could see us taking it. I mean, we take we take all the wrong players, but I'm actually excited about who the Browns have gotten on board so far. Have you been following our offensive line?
Yes, yes. I've been following the notable moves that the NFL has made. So I'm gonna go through some notable moves. So Tua, Kyler Murray, and Stephon Diggs were all released by their teams. Tua's
Wow.
is so bad. The Dolphins took almost $100 million cap hit in dead cap because of how much they
And
owed
Kev
Tua.
took him. That's what's Kev took him. Like only
Yeah.
Stefanski. Anyway, go ahead.
And
Move
then
on.
and then when we move over to free agency, Atlanta signs Tua. Now, mind you, a couple years ago they signed Kirk Cousins, then they draft Michael Penix Jr. in the draft, and now they've signed Tua Tagovailoa in free agency, which is crazy. Miami ends up picking up Malik Willis. DJ Moore got traded to Buffalo from Chicago. Geno Smith got traded back to the Jets. Minka Fitzpatrick also gets traded to the Jets, and then the Browns pick up three different people. They pick up Zion Johnson, an outside guard, Ellington Jenkins, an O lineman, and then Quincy Williams, a linebacker. What do you think of these signings, Christy? Specifically for the Browns.
I'm glad that we are doing some moves. Yeah, specifically for the Browns. I am excited that the Browns are building up the O line with experienced guys because I don't want rookie offensive linemen. I want experience that can go out there and know how to play with other guys. I mean, we still have Dewan Jones in there, and who else was it? Trevor Jennings, I think. Yeah, Trevor Jennings. So they've been on our team. So we've got these other guys, Zion, Elton, and Titus, that are joining us from other teams. So this is great. This is exactly what I wanted to happen during the free agency, was going after guys that we could build around and help Shador with, because we know the offensive line needs help, and they all left. So
Yes.
I mean,
Yeah. I've never seen a Browns competency like anything competent happen with them in my entire 31 years of life. I mean, they didn't exist for the first 4 years of my life again. But I'm actually really proud of them. They noticed that they have some weaknesses, and so they said, "Let's get them in free agency," because as much as I would have said get them in the draft, I think it's much better to get your offensive line in free agency. They're a little bit more experienced. You need some experience. Rookie offensive lineman, I wouldn't do that. Now, they do need to address the other part of their woes, which is wide receiver, because you cannot
yes,
have Jerry Judy be your number one. That we saw it this season. You cannot have him be your number one. So you have to kind of
no,
address that part. I would also kind of like them to go in free agency that route, but also I wouldn't mind through the draft, only because I'm
yeah,
like you can kind of mold a guy, and we seen Tom Monken like
hmm,
be able to do it. We saw him do it with
yeah.
Lamar. So I don't know. I'm very interested, but I think so far so good that the Browns have done really, really well. In free
Well,
agency.
I will tell you, I agree with you on the wide receiver, and in fact, I am campaigning with some friends of mine to get Austin Watkins Jr. during the free agency after he's done with the Canadian Football League, because he actually should have been our number two instead of Jerry Judy in the 2023 season. That kid
Mhm.
had an amazing preseason. If you get a chance, go back and watch some of his highlights from the Hall of Fame game, because it was unbelievable. That kid, he's just, the passes were just being dropped right, like one-handed catches, and he should have been our number two that season, if not our number one, in place of Amari Cooper, because I love that kid. He's got a great heart. He's got a great soul. He's got great hands. Um, he's a beast. So, but also, I would love, love, love for us to get a wide receiver during the draft, specifically a particular one from Ohio State. Not
Mhm.
mentioning names, but yeah. So it will be interesting what happens during the draft, because as soon as we take that stage for our first pick during the first round,
Oh, it's gonna be
that
Booze.
it's going to be bad. I mean, like, if they don't get a wide receiver, it, I'm pretty sure all hell's going to break loose.
Yeah, we all kind of know that that's their biggest need right now is the wide receiver position. But just I'm gonna go through the other NFL news. So I know we talked about it a couple months ago, and that is what happened with Rakia Jackson and her ex boyfriend. I will not be saying his name. I actually low key forgot his name, but I will not give him much attention on this subject. But it was revealed in a article, I think it was Monday, that Rakia Jackson, who plays for the Los Angeles Sparks, had actually been calling the police on that man for months, and that they were on and off, and
Mm,
that even his dad came out and said, "You need to get away. My son is unstable." They also explained what happened that night and
wow.
how he was, yeah, how he was all over the place. But it's this is a progressing thing. Also, sorry, I'm sorry, guys, but it's just such a strange league that the NFL is, because you could have a story like that, and then you could have a story like Dax Prescott canceling his wedding, and that be like headline news. And the
That's
Dax
okay.
Dax
Ta-
and the Dax Prescott news was he canceled his wedding in Italy. His wedding was supposed to be April 10th. TMZ confirmed it, and then somebody who was invited to their wedding shared the cancellation email, like got paid for it, and then people were like, "Oh, the reason why they broke up is because she wants a prenup," or
uh,
like they couldn't agree. And now it's come out that that's actually not what happened. That in the most typical football way, and what I thought when I read it was that that man probably cheated on her and had been cheating for a very long time. And so, hey, allegedly, it's because she may have found out some
right.
infidelity that Dax had been performing before their wedding. And they have two kids. They have two babies.
Well, at least, yeah, two babies. Like they're very young. So it's sad.
Mm.
I'm glad she found out prior to, and it could have it happened, before they spent all that money and wasted it all. But it's like it, there are so many stories out there about NFL players right now. There was one that killed his, I don't know if it was his girlfriend or his wife or his ex, but then
And
asked
then
Chat GPT
ChatGPT. Yeah.
how
Yeah, I
to get
saw
rid
that
of the
one.
body. Should he call the cops? Should he take her to the hospital? What should he do if their friend accidentally fell on a knife and stabbed themselves 17? Like, it was scary that this guy actually thought that he could ask AI.
Yeah, he was
Oh,
A former Ohio State player, which makes it even worse.
I forgot.
Yeah, so he had apparently attacked his girlfriend, and then had asked ChatGPT what he should do, because she said that he hit her, and he was like, "I don't remember hitting her. I never did it. She's on her crazy stuff again." That's literally what he apparently was writing to ChatGPT, and now there is a murder trial. So it's so much happening in sports. Let me quickly go
Yeah.
through the last couple things in sports before we get to some pop culture stuff. The Paralympics, of
Mhm.
course, have started. China and the U.S. lead the medal counts. China at the moment has 26, and the U.S. has 24. That was the last time I checked a few hours ago. And then the World Baseball Classic started last week. It's been interesting. It's been a little fun. I don't I
Well,
honestly, I
did you see
told
the
you.
Was it the South Koreans? They were,
Yes.
I think it was the South Koreans. They were so excited. They were all crying. It was so cute. I
Mhm.
was so happy for them.
No, 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 that was Chinese Taipei. That was Chinese Taipei. That was Chinese Taipei. South
Oh,
Korea
okay.
was
That's right.
very, yes.
Yeah.
South Korea was very excited because they were on the verge of not making it out of the group stages, but they did. And there's like
Mhm.
South Korea takes baseball very seriously. I don't know if you know this. They take it very
Oh, yeah.
seriously. About as seriously as
Did
America
you see
does.
what happened? Yeah. Did you see what happened during the Puerto Rican American game in the stands?
No, I haven't seen that yet, but let's talk about America while we're at it. So Mark DeRosa, former Cleveland Guardian, who is the manager of Team USA, has gone on. So Team USA actually loses last night to Italy 8-6, which is embarrassing. Italy is not a like national
Yeah.
powerhouse. The United States has won the
Yeah.
World Baseball Classic and came in second last time. So for them to lose to Italy and be on the verge of elimination, and then have your manager come out and say, "Well, I didn't know if I don't know what the rules are. I didn't know we could be eliminated. I didn't know if we lost, we could be eliminated." What are you? What? Huh? How do you know
Uh,
if you after the group stages you didn't know you could be eliminated? We are in the knockout round. We are
right.
now in the stage where it's now time to get to the finals, and you have all these
Yeah, it's like
international
brackets.
teams. Yeah, you have all these international teams now that are really, 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 really hungry and really want to win this. And I look at the US team and I'm like, God, these men are so boring. Did you see their celebration that they had in the outfield after like all the outfielders came together? They
No,
were
I
saluting
didn't.
each other. So
No.
like you see the Dominican Republic, you see Puerto
Oh,
Rico, you
geez.
see Venezuela, you see all these other teams, and they could just like I'm like, oh, you guys are just amazing. Like the aura is there. These losers come together and salute each other like military style, and I'm like, this is literally. And I'm like, it's not even cool. It's just it's like, oh, like you're just and I'm like and I saw that and I was like, see, this is the problem with the Major League Baseball is
Dude.
that you got these three losers and one of them is technically the face of Major League Baseball. And I'm like, he literally has no aura. He has nothing.
Yeah. Yeah. It's because he's a robot.
It's like, what is going
I
on?
am convinced he's a robot.
You literally have every other country and then you have the Asian countries that are playing in Japan and they're just having so much fun. You have I think it's like the Czech team or you have a guy who's literally a plumber throwing shutout base. So you have all these different like wonderful stories, and then you have Team USA that has a manager who doesn't know what's going on and an auralist team. And I'm like, God, I'm like, it would be
Yeah.
in baseball where you guys just like make me so mad. I'm like, every other Team USA has so much aura, and you guys just
So American.
oh, it's just so such.
Yeah.
I hate it. I hate it. But last but not least, March Madness will be starting soon. I think we should definitely fill out brackets this year. I know one of the teams going into March Madness is
Yeah.
Miami of Ohio. They have like one of the most impressive runs I've ever seen of an NCAA team. I think they're still undefeated. I'm almost positive that they're still undefeated. But you have them going into MAC tournament. MAC tournament is in Cleveland every year, so excited about that. And it's just I love March Madness. I think it's cool. I think it's fun. I like a one and done game. So we have that coming up. But let's move on to some pop culture news. Now, Christy, tomorrow is an interesting day
Yes, ma'am.
because we have two different things that come out. So you have Secret Lab and Mormon Wives season 4 premieres tomorrow. And this is going to be taking us
Oh,
behind
geez.
the scenes of Taylor Frankie Paul and how she becomes bachelorette, the different relationships the girls giving
Mm-hmm.
birth, the Dancing with the Stars of it all. Because if you don't know, two of the girls were on Dancing with the Stars. We're gonna go behind the scenes of that and how Whitney gets to Broadway because Whitney's on Broadway right now, and because she's on Broadway, she's doing actually really well on Broadway because she's brought a lot of attention. And then we also have the Dirty Rotten Scandals America's Next Top Model version on E, which they're going to take you in to
Ooh.
America's Next Top Model. And one of the people that they're interviewing is Angelique, who, if you don't know who Angelique is, Angelique was on the All-Star season of America's Next Top Model. She won it. They brought her in to CBS and was like, "Hey, we did some background checks on you. We found out you used to be a sex worker." They disqualified her, and then Lisa won. And now Angelique has revealed
Whoopsie.
that Lisa is actually the one that told the executives that she had a background
Too
in
bad it
sex
on
work.
her. Yep.
And then we found out much later that it wasn't like she intentionally did it and intentionally got into sex work. She was literally trafficked into sex work. So we're gonna find out
Yeah.
the not polished Netflix Tyra Banks version. We're going into a little bit of
Mhm.
the nitty gritty.
Good.
So we have that, and
What
then
time
we
does that come out
have,
tomorrow?
I think it's 8 o'clock. I think it's around this time tomorrow. But one last
Okay.
update, because I'm pretty sure it's out now or it's about to come. I'm ready to be done with these
It was supposed to
people.
be released at 9, but they probably already put it out because they put it out
They
early.
definitely,
So yeah, it's probably literally out now.
yes, the reunion. We're gonna find out who's together, who's not together. Remember last week when I was like, as I knew, because I'd asked my friend's boyfriend who knew Jordan in November when
Yeah.
we were in New Orleans. I asked him,
Mhm.
I was like, oh, are they still together? Like the guy, he was like, yeah, for all intents and purposes, apparently, according to certain sources, they are not together anymore. And Jordan and Amber, yeah, Jordan and Amber,
Yeah.
their divorce went up in flames. And apparently, we're gonna hear all about that. Of course, we
Well,
got to hear about the show.
you can see on the preview, like they don't show her face. They show her walking away, and you can see the blonde hair and a silver dress. And that's like the last second that you see of the preview. And prior to that, they show her sitting in with the rest of the group, and you see her face, but they don't show her body. You can't see what she's wearing. Well,
Mhm.
they already released what they were wearing, though. They released the pictures, their whole full body shot. So we know it's Amber that's running off the stage saying something about you weren't supposed to discuss that, or you know, it was her running off stage. So um, it's super sad because she had a kid involved, and I was
Yeah.
really hoping that those two were actually going to. I mean, like from the get, they looked like they were just. She just wanted somebody to love. He didn't seem like the type of, he wasn't a supermodel. He didn't work out all the time. He was like your typical Northeast Ohioan. Like
Hmm.
that's what 95% of the men up there look like.
Unfortunately,
And
they do.
I really I'm thinking that this is probably going to be on her and her insecurities, but we'll see.
Yeah, apparently it was just a lot, and apparently he didn't really adjust to her lifestyle as a parent. That is what
Mm,
the rumor mill has said. Of course, we have to have the
okay,
short
so
man. Um and we're going to have to the short man with no neck who now has a nice haircut. Like y'all, why are y'all giving that short man with no neck any attention? Like please leave him behind. I wish y'all would. Please. But I think the only couple
he's trying
that
to do the
will
Garrett
still
glow up. He's trying to do the Garrett glow up.
he can't. Garrett married a woman who looked at him and was like, "You look better with long hair. You look better with long hair. You should do that." He's not he's not gonna get the Cameron
Yeah,
or the Garrett or any of the other guys who got
you're
married
right.
whose wives were like, you should do this. You should do something a little bit different. No. He just looks like a
Oh,
loser. And I'm gonna guarantee y'all, I live in
oh, he
Ohio.
does.
We know this. I live in this beautiful state. This loser is going to be at every Bobby George establishment in T minus 1 month. I'm gonna see something on social media. And if you know who Bobby George is also an equally
Mhm.
terrible person. So he's gonna be at every Bobby George establishment, talking to college girls, trying to hit them up. He's gonna go on Perfect Match because he's gonna try to save his reputation. They all do it now. Remember when Trevor
Yep.
went on Perfect Match to try to save his reputation? Look at how that happened. Like, y'all, I'm sick of these men. I say the
Not
only couple
everybody
that's still
can
left.
be AD and Ollie.
Yeah. Yeah, they're trying to be the next AD and Ollie. We know Devonta got a girl pregnant and is engaged again. Like, I'm just kind of over it. And a lot of people said, I'm just like at a point where Love is Blind is like I want you to focus on the love story. Like the reason why I was thinking about this the other day, and I was like, well, the reason why season one worked so well is because you had the at the core of it people who actually loved each other. Like you had
Yeah,
Cameron and Lauren, you had Amber and Barnett. Unfortunately,
yeah,
Damien and Giannina did love each other. And then you also had like the
right.
messiness of what's her face? Jessica and Mark, who clearly should have been together, but she was just entertaining television.
Right.
And then we knew Kenny and what's her face? Kelly were not going to be together because they were boring. And then you had a blow up argument in which a man told a woman to fix your wig is sliding back. That's lightning in a bottle. And they've been trying to recreate it ever since. And it's like,
Yeah.
what you did on that season one will never be created, like recreated.
Because they're
Like you try,
because everybody's taking advantage of the show. They all want their 15 minutes of fame, and it sucks. But and I know you're going to ask me this about my guilty pleasure soon, and I think that we need to. Are you ready to go there?
we will in a minute. We will in a minute because
Okay.
we're gonna talk about a couple other shows. Um, but it's just like I think they're just constantly trying to recreate season one, and I think the closest they got was the Seattle season because you still had a little bit of drama with all the couples, but then you had like some happy couples mixed in, and you had some love stories. But I just
Yeah.
like it's not giving because you're keep like these they keep picking these men that clearly don't value personality over looks. They clearly want looks over personality. And I'm like, I get it. You like
They need
want to
to give
mix it
them
in.
those personality tests, where they like ask you the same question, but like they ask it 5 different times to see if they can trip you up, you know?
Yeah.
And they need to take those kinds of tests because they're obviously lying to these
Yeah.
interviewers. So,
I
I
told
mean,
you.
they need to like have people follow them around to like bars and stuff, like, get private investigators involved.
I told you, good friend of mine. Um, shout out Rebecca. Shout out like everything that you do in the Cleveland community for us ladies. But she literally talked about how she was like very close to getting on the show for this season. And she was like, the biggest thing is they just want people who want to get married. And I'm like, okay, if you want to get married, stop picking people who
Yeah.
want to look a certain want to have a certain way or want to have a wife that looks like
Yeah.
this like again Chris I ooh Alec ooh like every time I think about him. But let's move on. I'm sick of talking about these men. I told you I watched Southern Hospitality. Beautiful show.
Yes.
Reminds me of old Vanderpump Rules. It's so good. They had their season 4 premiere. I'm gonna give you just a quick rundown. You can watch it, but I'm gonna give you a quick rundown. There is a girl on the show whose castmates tried to manufacture a storyline. Um, Made her break up with her boyfriend, and then one of the cast members came out and was like, yeah, we lied to you the whole time. Your boyfriend didn't actually do what he we said he did.
Oh
One
my.
of the guys that was involved literally said to her, yeah, I did it because you made up a rumor about me at the end of the first season. And then now yeah, it's a
Are
crazy
we 12?
thing.
Are we
It's a
12?
crazy thing. One of the girls' boyfriends constantly cheats on her. She's like in like a Tom Schwartz esque relationships of like, remember when Schwartz kept cheating on Katie, but then she would just be
Oh
like, "I love
God.
Schwartz so much, I'm still gonna be with him," and everybody was like,
Yeah.
"He's literally cheating on you." She's in one of those
Right.
relationships. Um, like there are just so many hot messes. You got a guy on there who used to be on Perfect Match. Like it's so many hot messes on that show. But I told Chrissy she needs to watch that. Um the Oscars are this Sunday, and one of the biggest we're gonna talk about this for a little bit and then we're gonna
Mhm.
move on to our internet obsessions right now. But the Oscars are this Sunday, and one of the biggest stories is that Timothée Chalamet does not respect the arts. He doesn't respect ballet or opera. He went on an interview with
Oh,
Matthew McConaughey about people.
oh, Timote. What? Who's Timote?
That's how he said. That's how he pronounced his name because he's French. Timothée.
No, you're Timothy
Timothée.
Chalamet.
Hmm. Yeah, he was in an interview with Matthew McConaughey,
Chalamet.
and he's yes, yes, and he essentially was like, "Yeah, I would never want to work for a dying media or a dying medium like ballet or opera." And I'm like,
Right.
"What are you talking about?" And he's a theater actor, a trained theater actor, and
Mhm.
he literally said in an interview once that his mom, grandma, and sister were all ballerinas at one point. So now this has caused the internet not only to re-examine his comments in the past, talk about his current relationship and how that might have influenced. And Timmy's just getting whacked from all sides, and I kind of like it.
Mhm.
I like
I
it
do
when
too.
somebody makes dumb comments, and then everybody's like, "No, you're dumb, and we're gonna tell you why you're dumb.
Yeah.
Stop making
Misty
stupid
Copeland.
comments,
Misty
my
Copeland got
girl."
involved. And I love her because her name sounds like my maiden name. I was Christy Copeland, but she's Misty Copeland. And she's much more beautiful than me and much more famous. Uh,
And Misty. Oh yeah, because he used her to promote his
yeah.
movie about ping pong. Again, he made a
Hmm.
movie ping pong, and it's like I'm the goat. I'm the greatest of all time. Sorry, you made a movie about ping pong. Get out of here. Um,
Right.
but he used her during promotions. Now, mind you, guys, the way he was promoting this movie, had no clue what it was about. Had no clue what it was about. But he
Hmm.
used her in promotions and then shitted
And
on
now he's
her
putting
media.
down her profession.
Yes, literally was like, whatever, like,
Yeah. She's
okay.
like, if our profession is so dying, why did you need to use me?
Again, his mom, sister, and grandma were all professional trained ballerinas. Like, what is like he made no sense. But you have that. There was another story I wanted to tell you about. I completely literally just had it in my brain and I forgot it because
Are you? Am I rubbing
I
off on you?
remember a little bit. Taylor Frankie Paul. We already talked about Secret Life of Mormon Wives. I'm probably gonna watch it tomorrow, along with Christie's new obsession. Um, she will be the Bachelorette, and I think her season premieres this Monday. Yeah, this coming Monday. Are you excited for Taylor's season? Because we all know that Taylor is a hot ass mess.
I don't watch the Bachelor series or the Bachelorette. Like I, I, I've never gotten into them. I've seen a couple of episodes. I love the SNL spoofs of it. I think those are the best things about The Bachelor and The Bachelorette. The spoofs that SNL does. Um, yeah, I don't watch, so I could care less who is on it. I think it's ridiculous that she's popping out of a Barbie box because she's saying something about trying to break the mold. What mold are you breaking? You're a white girl, single mom, going on The Bachelorette.
She's not the first. She's not the first single mom to go on The Bachelorette. She's, I think,
Right.
the second.
What mold is she
Yeah,
breaking then? Like,
she's
I
the
just
first. She's the first
normal.
Bachelorette that they didn't pick from. Like, so how the Bachelorette works is they so how okay. So I'm gonna explain the Bachelor real quick. It's
Oh,
a very
previous
niche thing.
seasons of The
So
Bachelor.
yeah, so from the I think it was season 2, that's the first
Hmm.
time they picked the Bachelorette. So what they usually do is if you're on the previous season of The Bachelor, they'll pick you
Right.
as the Bachelorette for the next season. So that's how it really was done.
Yeah,
And
and
then
you're
they
usually one
started,
of the top girls.
yeah, it's either usually the runner up Or
Mhm.
sometimes now in the last few years, it actually has been the girl who's won, and then the guy who's broken up with her has broken up with her in such a traumatic way that they're like, "Girl, we feel bad for you. Let's find you some love."
That's
Um
what you did this again.
yeah, but after so the last season that they had of The Bachelorette before this one was a woman named Jen Tran. Jen was the first Asian
Mhm.
bachelorette and she was picked, and a lot of people didn't like her season. A lot of people didn't like her. I thought she was fine as the bachelorette. She got the shit end of the stick because the guy she picked ended up breaking up with her and then trying to date one of her co-stars from her season of The Bachelor.
Of
So
course.
they had a yeah, so they had a season of The Bachelor. And then they didn't do a bachelorette, and then they did a Bachelor in Paradise, and then they included the people from Bachelor, Bachelorette, and the Golden
Mhm.
Bachelor and Bachelorette because they have now an older version, and then they did a Golden Bachelorette instead of regular Bachelorette. So now they're bringing Bachelorette back, and now Taylor Frankie Paul, who is somehow the same age as me or a little bit older, which is crazy because that lady looks like 45. But yeah,
Right?
she's
She
now
looks
yeah
older than me.
yeah, she's about to be the bachelorette for this season, and then apparently on Secret Lab and Mormon Wives they're going to examine how she becomes bachelorette, how it's announced and everything, and then her whole fallout with her baby daddy, because if you guys don't know this, Taylor has one of the most toxic relationships with a baby daddy I've ever seen. I've never seen it. I've never seen anything like it. A man who tries to have sex with your mom's best friend still has any sort of impact on you is crazy. But let's get to our current
Yeah.
internet obsessions. Christy, we talked about it a little bit. What are you currently
Yeah.
obsessed with?
All right. What is the name of it again? I can't even remember the name of it. Um,
Age of
Age
Attraction.
of Age of Attraction. Yes. So it's new on Netflix, and they take singles from all over the country, all different ages, all different backgrounds, and they put them on. It looks like this island. It looks like a Canadian island, but it's definitely during the summertime if it's in Canada. But it's like got a woodsy area. It's got whitewater rafting, and these people have, they start talking and get to know each other. And the premise is they can't say their age. They have to wait until they feel like they can go to, I think it's called the ring room or the promise room. Yeah, the promise room. And they have to give each other promise rings and promise that they're going to leave there together, go live in an apartment for a couple weeks together, meet everybody's families and possibly get married at the end. And the only time that they can find out each other's ages is after they make the commitment in the promise room. Now, the premise is great. I think the promise room is a little like much. They're all talking about their connections and they're connecting and, their experiences and connections and connecting. And I'm just like, uh, but it's crazy. I like literally, oh my gosh. Like, so
It's nuts.
there's 8 episodes out right now, and I think I've gotten
Hmm.
through six.
Yeah. I'm gonna tell you how I found the show. So I was one day on YouTube and I followed Netflix's account so I get to see all the trailers that come out. And I saw it and was like, "What
Okay.
is this?" And then the first red flag for me was that it was hosted by Nick and Natalie. Now, Nick used to be on The Bachelorette, was The Bachelor, did the whole thing, has been
Oh, he
on
was?
reality TV for yes, he was The Bachelor. So he was on two different seasons of The Bachelorette, came in runner up twice, proposed to both
Hmm.
girls. Then he went to Bachelor in Paradise, kind of tried his hand there. People kind of felt bad for him. Then he was made The Bachelor. He was with his winner for like 6 months to like 6 months. And then he started a very successful podcast. And I'm going to say about
Mhm.
4 years ago, he introduced his girlfriend, who's his now wife, Natalie. And at the time, Natalie was like 22, and their entire shtick is that he's so much older than her. He's 18 years older than her.
Yeah, he's 18 years older. I didn't realize that was him. Like, now that
Hmm.
you tell me his name, he doesn't look like him.
Yes,
Like,
Nick Vile.
he must, yeah, Vale. Vile?
Vile.
Or are you calling
Yes,
him
Nick
Vile?
Vile. No, that's how you say his last name, Vile. It's literally how you say his
Okay.
name. But yeah, he Nick Vile and his wife Natalie have an 18-year age gap. Again, they will tell you before you even ask. You don't even have to ask. They're gonna tell you before you
Oh, yeah.
even know. So
Yep.
they have an 18-year age gap, which I'm like, okay, whatever. Like, and they're hosting this show. Now the clips I've seen
Mhm.
are a guy is an older black guy and a younger black woman, and the girl's like, oh, I'm 27, and he's like, oh wow, you are very young, and then she's like, well, how old are you? And it's like menacing music, and he's like, well, I'm 60. Y'all, the way if a man I looked at and was like, yeah, I'm 60, I would have got up and ran. At 27, I would have got up and ran. Now the man looked good, but hell
Yeah.
nah. Then another clip I saw was it was
Yeah.
a white guy and a black
33,
woman.
33-year difference. Uh-huh.
What does a 27-year-old and a 60-year-old have in common? Nothing, y'all. Nothing. Nothing. There's not a thing you have in common. And then I saw a black woman and a
What the
white guy,
heck?
and they looked relatively around the same age. But like every time these people reveal their ages,
Mhm.
they're like, "Oh my god, you're so much older." And I'm like, "That's the premise of the show, y'all." I hate it when people just don't get the premise of the show. But that's
Well,
your
one of
current
the
internet.
guys even said something before the reveal about like I didn't catch it because I was doing something else, but he had mentioned something about being concerned about her real age, and she's obviously much older than him. But I was just like, why would you say that? Why would you go on this show if you've got a problem? Like, that's the whole premise of the show, is not to know what their age is and to see if you can actually get along. And this one guy, he asked the girl that he was seeing, he's like, you don't know any of the Spice Girls names? And she's like, I don't know any of them. And I was just like, oh my God, like, what hole has she been living in?
Yeah, I look, y'all, I have dabbled into dating older men, okay? I was a very regular person that was like, "Hey, I will date an older man. Like, no problem here. Like, I'm good." But there is a
Yeah.
limit, and 60 is the limit, y'all. 60? I'm
I
31.
dated a
If
guy
a
that was
6
12 years older than me once. But I
Yeah,
mean,
I was like my limit is 10
I
years.
was I was in my 30s, so he wasn't 60 yet.
No, I was like, I think I was 23, 24, and I dated a
Yeah.
guy who was like 38, 39. He was pushing 40. Very interesting. I'll tell you that story for a later date on what happened there. He was into some wild things. But
Scott
no,
thinks I laugh too much.
Scott, let Christy laugh. That means she's having a great time, okay?
That's my
But
joy.
yeah, no, Age of Attraction on Netflix. I
Yeah.
will be watching it because
Yeah.
I want to see how the 27-year-old and the 60-year-old get along, because that's nuts.
Right.
That's just
Yeah.
nuts. You're old.
Yeah.
You're as old as his grand. You could be his granddaughter, his great
Yes.
granddaughter.
She even said he's the same age as my parents.
My parents ain't even that old. My parents is in their 50s, early 50s, and even then, well, that's because of teen pregnancy. But then no, 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 no. 60 and 27 is crazy. And I blame Nick Vile for that. My current internet session right now, though, I am obsessed. Of course, you guys know I'm obsessed with K dramas and everything like that. I've started picking up more of them. I cannot stop. I've also acquired a crush on a K drama actor. The man is
Oh
fantastic.
goodness.
He's beautiful. Mwah. But the K-pop industry right now is in shambles. One of the most popular K-pop groups lost a member, and nobody knows why, because he literally like performed with them like a couple weeks ago. They all were happy, and then they were like, "Yeah, he's leaving the group. He's still gonna stay with the company though. He's doing a solo project." And everybody's like, "Huh?" One of the
So he's pulling a
top
Justin Timberlake.
No, a lot of people think it's the company like forcing him out because it's very clear that he did not want to be out. It's
Oh,
just like when I say the industry is on like it's like one little thing is gonna tip it over, and then of course you have BTS coming back in probably about like 9 days now. They have a concert that I will be watching at 7 o'clock in the morning on a Saturday
oh, goodness.
because I'm crazy. And then I also am going to go to a movie theater and watch a live show because I want the experience because this is my first time like I want to experience it because like I've seen so many people online being like this is the greatest thing, like the feeling, the emotions you get from it. And I'm like, okay, I want to see. I want to see. I want to experience it. Like BTS came out when I was literally like the week after I graduated high school in 2013. I'm not even joking, like I'm pretty sure like 2 weeks after I graduated high school they debuted. I was very much one of those people that was like, like, I don't care, I don't care. And then a couple years ago I kind of was like, oh, you know what, let me check them out. So I'm like, I want to experience a little bit,
Okay.
I want to dabble. So I'm a little bit more back on the K-pop train more than the I'm still watching K-dramas. I can't stop watching them. They're so good,
Yeah, you
Christy.
got me
They're
watching
so
Singles Inferno.
good. And then I got her watching Singles Inferno, y'all. Singles Inferno is so good. Do you
Oh
know
my
how
gosh, I
good
made
of a
it through
show
one
is?
season and I cannot wait. I'm like, I gotta hurry up and I gotta finish. Okay, so we got the reunion for Ohio. We've
Mhm.
got I got the other half of the Vanderpump reunion, which I'm not really into that, but I kind of like do want to get some answers. Then we've got oh, Love on the Spectrum is coming back out on April 1st, which I really love watching that and the Singles Inferno because those
It's the
people,
same
they're
kind of
just
two
so
people.
sweet and they're so wholesome. They're not trying to eat each other's faces and like make out all the time. And like, I just, the Love on the Spectrum people, that show had me hooked from like I cry so many happy tears watching that show. Like, they're all so sweet. I love it. There's so
Yeah,
much stuff
honest
coming out.
yeah, honestly, when you start getting into Korean media, you realize just how conservative it is. And like I told you,
Yes.
watching K dramas, like I've never been anticipated to be like people just kiss, just kiss, just kiss. And I'm like, when I watch
Mhm.
American television, I'm like, oh, I know they're gonna kiss. I know we're gonna. I'm like,
Yeah. Can
I'm
they
waiting
stop
for it.
making out, please?
But I'm like, these two people, I just want you to kiss. I want you to kiss. And it's just like this really sweet, like a lot of times it's a really sweet love story.
It
So
is.
you see why I like K dramas now.
Well,
Like
I'm
single
watching the K realities.
Yeah, you're watching the K realities. That's look, it takes is one. Cause all it took for me was listening to K-pop and now I like K-dramas. Hey,
We're hooked.
yeah, we're hooked. So that's our current internet obsessions. But guys, we're coming to the end of the show. There was one more thing I wanted to tell you. One more interesting thing. Um, Even though I think what he did was an abomination to the sport of basketball at the end of the game last night, but Bam Adebayo and Asia Wilson made history yesterday. They are the first ever couple that both play the same professional sports
Mhm.
that hold the modern day record for most points scored.
Oh, yay.
So she scored 53 last season. He scored 83 this season. And she was also the first significant other to be in a post game press conference. I'm like, it was hilarious that she was just there in his press
Aw.
conference.
Usually we see the kids.
Um, Look, the day they get married, their child is going to be immaculately athletic. Oh, also the CBA negotiations for the WNBA is going on right now. So please let's just hope, especially because now we know that the all the attention that they have gotten over the last 2 years has triggered revenue sharing, so they can get a share of that money.
Yes.
So that's what they're
Yes.
arguing over right now is give me that money that you owe me.
Like Rihanna says, bitch, better give me my money. Pay me what you owe me.
Oh, please follow us on Inside Edge Network on TikTok, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, and Facebook. Please support us and buy some stuff from Alley Rose Fragrances. AlleyRoseFragrances.com. Use the code Inside Edge Net 20 or Inside Edge 20. I'm sorry, excuse me, 20 for 20% off. And of course, it can be stacked if they have another code. So please, we're begging you. We got a nice $2 this weekend from you guys buying some stuff. Got a nice little cut. Everybody got a nice little cut. So just please support us. Support the people that support us. And also you can find Jersey Chasers on Instagram and TikTok and wherever you get your podcasts on Apple, Spotify, Amazon, YouTube. We're everywhere. But thank you guys for supporting us. We love you.
Yes.
You can catch us. Oh, you can catch me on Fridays also. On Mic Check Take Two. Yes, and Christy, of course, you can catch her on BFO as well on the weekends. Is it Fridays too? Don't you do Fridays?
Oh, no. Actually, that's Thursday with Ulterior Motives.
Yes. You can catch us doing so much stuff. And like I said, we're constantly doing stuff, y'all. We're constantly reacting. We're gonna try to give you guys a live reaction to something very soon. Maybe the premiere of The Valley. We can do a live reaction to, like a live watch along. Because The Valley's coming out soon.
Yes.
Probably in a couple weeks. But thank you guys. We love you and have a great weekend.
Bye-bye.